بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أزواجه وذرياته وأهل بيته وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Alright, in the last class we learned the last of the al-fi'l al-madi, the past tense. So can anybody tell me the name of the madi, the last madi that we learned? Anybody? Madi? Ihtimali. Nope. Madi istimrari. So you will see. You're going to see it right here. So we're going to call it number 4, okay? We're going to call it al-madi istimrari, and we're going to call it number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so it's going to be the 4th one. All the people that just came in, there are the handouts. Please pick up the handouts from here. And if we run out of handouts there, then we got more over here. There are always going to be handouts over there, so we can pick those up as we sit down. Alright, so last time we had class, we had a little break, inshallah, so everybody probably went to the website and looked at all the videos and caught up, and now they're, hafiz of all those videos, mashallah. They probably know more than me now, inshallah. So, we learned al-madi al-istimrari, the continuous past. So now we know all 6, okay? So number 1 we're going to call al-madi mutlaq. Number 2 al-madi al-qareeb. Number 3 al-madi al-ba'id. Number 4 al-madi al-istimrari. Number 5 al-madi al-ihtimali. And number 6 al-madi al-tamannai. And inshallah we will not have more than this. We will just stick with this 6. If we know this, then we know all of the past tense in the Quran. Alhamdulillah. Alright, so what does Madi al-Mutlaq mean? You can just keep looking there, I don't want to point. So al-Madi al-Mutlaq means the general past. Alright? Or the normal past. Or the ordinary past. Or the regular past. Whatever you want to call it. So it's just a simple word of the past tense, like fataha, he opened, kharaja, he exited, fa'ala, he did. Alright? So no addition to the verb to make it more specific. Like we are adding a qad to make it more specific and making it recent past, or a kana, or a la'allama, or a laytama to make it more specific and precise with an exact meaning. It's just mutlaq, it's general. So that's what basically mutlaq means. Second one, al-madi al-qareeb, recent past or near past or immediate past. And we have the example of, what do we do? Okay, qad akala. Who can tell me what qad akala means? He just ate. And qad kharaja, he just left. It also has the meaning of tahqiq. We said that he definitely left. So did he eat? Yes, he definitely ate. He ate the whole thing. All right? Yes, so that's definite. Definite. Yeah, it has the meaning of tahqiq. All right, al-madi al-ba'id, distant past. All right, so al-madi al-ba'id, distant past. Let's take some more names to make it more understandable. Ancient past, something that happened way long time ago. Long gone past or long ago past. Okay? So kana raja'a, he returned long ago. Kanat sami'at, she heard long ago. She heard it a long time ago. So kanat comes to make it distant in the past. We've already mentioned all of this, so I'm not taking too much time. I'm going through it a little with some speed. Alright, then we learned last time in our last class, al-madi al-istimrari, continuous past. Something which is repeated in the past. It's constant in the past. Habitual past. Something persistent in the past. So, كان يدرس, he used to study. So if we use the word used to, it has a nice meaning to it. He used to study. So he used to study continually. And now he doesn't. So it's in the past, but he used to do it continuously. Okay? Okay, I only have كان يدرس. Okay, I have one more example. كنت أطبخ. Alright, kuntu is for anybody. Kuntu.
I is for I.
I. So what are we going to say? The word, the term is mutakallim. Mutakallim, okay? Mutakallim means first person, right? So we can say first person or mutakallim. So I. Kuntu atbakhu, tabakh. Cook. I used to cook. Okay? Now I'm married, so I don't have to cook. But no, husband should cook also. Okay, let's take some other words. Sabaha yasbahu. Kana yasbahu. He used to swim. Sin, ba, and ha. To swim. Kana yal'abu. He used to play. Kana ya'ti ila al-masjid. Kana ya'ti. He used to come to the masjid. Okay? Kuntum taksibuna. Kuntum is for jama, mudhakkar, hadir. Second person jama for all of you men, right? So you all used to earn. Kuntum taksibuna. I haven't written it up there, but inshallah, we have examples in our handout, so we will see it more clearly in that. All right. And the fifth madi is al-madi al-ihtimali, the doubtful past. لَعَلَّمَا ضَرَبَ. He might have hit him. So it's doubtful, it's uncertain, it's unsure, it's iffy, it's chancy. All right? All these words. لَعَلَّمَا ضَرَبَ. He might have hit him. لَعَلَّمَا بَلَغَ. بَلَغَ means to arrive. He might have arrived. And لَعَلَّمَا وَجَدَ. He might have found it. And then the sixth madi, al-madi at-tamannai, the desirous past. Something to be desired in the past, hopeful in the past, wishful past. So all these words we can use for tamannai. So laytama wajada, hopefully he found it. Alright, laytama wajada, hopefully he found it, or he found. Laytama balagha, hopefully he arrived. And laytama fa'ala or amila, hopefully he did it. Okay? So these are the 6 types of madi. All of those madi, we went through them in detail. The only one that we're going to talk about a little bit today is al-madi al-istimrari, which means continuous past and something that's done in the past. The reason we mentioned it at the end is it's different. How is it different from the other madis? How is it different? In the wording itself. In the meaning, of course, it means continuous past. But if you look at all of the verbs, you look at fataha, kharaja, raja'a, and then daraba and wajada. But yadrusu and adbakhu is different. How is it different from the rest of the 5? Okay, a little bit.
It takes all, it takes all the word form from the past tense.
From the
past tense. I'm sorry.
You're adding a prefix.
That's right.
Yeah, you're adding a prefix. So it is, instead of past tense, you're going to say mudari. Mudari. Okay? The verb itself is mudari. Al-fi'l al-mudari. Alright? This was madi, al-fi'l al-madi. all of them. But this one, it's different because it has, the kana is entering upon al-fi'l al-mudari. So all of you were right. Somebody said the ya and the alif. That's correct. But the best answer would be it's mudari. Okay? Because kana enters upon it, it becomes past tense. Otherwise, mudari means present or future tense. So that's the big difference. And that's why we brought it at the end, because we wanted to first learn mudari. So we learned it, and now we went back to it and we understood it. So so this is going to be in the number 4th spot, okay? So if somebody asks you what's the first, you're going to say Madi Mutlaq. What's the second? Al-Madi Qareeb. What's the third? Al-Madi Ba'id. And this will be the 4th spot, Al-Madi Al-Istimrari, Al-Madi Al-Ihtimali, Al-Madi Al-Tamannai. So if you do read it in the Arabic books, it's going to come in the 4th spot. So inshallah, if you read this book, once you learn Arabic, inshallah, you can read this book and it's going to be in the 4th spot. All right. So let's go to the handouts. And let's go to the first handout. It looks like this. It has a big chapter 26 on it. And the page is 217. And it's front and back. So you have it. كان يفعل, كانا يفعلان, كانوا يفعلون. So I wrote it on the board last time. So my writing is very beautiful, but this is actually even better. So it'll be easier to read, inshallah. Mine is going up and down, and that last time I had a really sore back. I could barely bend. So this will be written more legible. So kana yaf'alu, he was doing. He was doing is not the best translation. So the word that I said is best to describe it is what? He used to do. So he used to do in the past. So he used to do. Kana yaf'alani, they both used to do. Kanu yaf'aluna, they all used to do. Kanat taf'alu, she used to do. Kanata taf'alani, they both women used to do. And kunna yaf'alna, all them women used to do. All right, so the next, if you turn the page over, all right, so we're going from left to right. Okay, they've written it left to right. So kunta taf'alu, you used to do. Kuntuma taf'alani, you both used to do. Kuntum taf'aluna, all of you used to do. So this is second person now. Second person. Kunti taf'alina, you, one lady used to do. Kuntuma taf'alani, both you ladies used to do. And kuntunna taf'alna, all you ladies used to do. Kuntu af'alu, I used to do. And kunna naf'alu, we all used to do. The only thing is it's written pretty small. For those of us who can't see, I think that's the only problem. All right. So, any questions in that? Because we had this last week. If we went to the videos, and also remember, it usually goes on YouTube first, and then it comes to our website, because there's some people doing it. So if you go to the YouTube, you'll find the videos, before it comes to the website itself. So if you want to revise and review, you can go to that. All right, so the first example from the Quran is Surah Baqarah. We don't really need to open the Quran because it's already right here on the page. ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَسَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. I mentioned this last week also. That was because of their disobedience, and they were the persons who exceeded the limits. So they used to exceed the limits. Alright? كَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. So it's Jama Mudhakkar Ghaib. Alright? Third person. and mudhakkar. All right, it's coming on the wazn of kanu yaf'alun, kanu ya'tadun. Yes.
Yahtadun, isn't it present?
Yeah. So, but when kanu comes on it,
When
it
it
becomes past. It becomes continuous past. So they used to. So that's a good question. Ya'tadun is actually present or future itself, but because of kanu coming upon it, it becomes madi, al-istimrari, and it brings the meaning of used to. All right, let's go to the second, not the second, the third one. Kana ya'kulani. So this is tasniya, so it's a good example. Kana ya'kulani ta'am. All right, so kana tasniya ya'kulani tasniya ta'am. They both used to eat. So fifth surah, who can tell me which is the fifth surah? The first surah, Surah Al-Fatiha. Second, Al-Baqarah. Third, Ma'idah. Good job. So Al-Ma'idah, all right, the fifth surah of the Quran, Al-Ma'idah, and the 75th ayah. So they used to, another very amazing example, easy. And we'll just do one more. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ تَعْمَلُ الْخَبَائِثِ. And we delivered him, نَجَّيْنَاهُ, we delivered him from the town, al-qarya means town, which practiced bad things. So let's make the translation, the town which used to practice bad things. Used to practice bad things. So it becomes, all right, for extra credit, who can tell me 21st surah of the Quran? 21st, without looking at a phone.
Oh, I know. Hajj. Hajj or Anbiya?
Anbiya.
Anbiya.
Oh, we have a hafiz. Surah Al-Anbiya. Good job. All right, Surah Al-Anbiya. And the last surah is 67, very famous surah, Surah Al-Mulk. وَقَالُوا لَوْ كُنَّا نَسْمَعُ أَوْ نَعْقِلُ. So, كُنَّا نَسْمَعُ is jama mutakallim, we used to hear. And because of the low is a harf al-shart, so it becomes a little different. So had we listened. So if we were people who used to listen, we would have been better people. But we never listened to the Anbiya. Alright, now we can go to the next page. It's going to say, it's going to look like this. Alright, it says Al-Fi'l Al-Madi Al-Istimrari. Al-Fi'l Al-Madi Al-Istimrari. It says Arabic Tutor, Volume 2 on the top.
Volume 2? This one.
I mean, this page. The page says that.
Yep.
Alright? So we got another example. Kana yaktubu, kana yaktubani, kanu yaktubuna, kanat taktubu, kanata taktubani, kunna yaktubna, kunta taktubu, kuntuma taktubani, kuntum taktubuna, kunti taktubina, kuntuma taktubani, kuntunna taktubna, kuntu aktubu, and kunna naktubu. I wish they were written a little big. But it's written small, but inshallah legible, very clean. He was writing. It's the meaning they've made it. He was. So we're going to make it. He used to write. That's a better translation. Okay. So kana yaktubu. He used to write. Kana yaktubani. Those two men used to write. Kanu yaktubuna. All those men used to write. Kanat taktubu. That one lady used to write. Kanata taktubani. Those two ladies used to write. Kunna yaktubna. Alright, so be careful of not saying kunna because that becomes jama'. So for the jama' mu'annath ghaib, it's kunna yaktubna. So all those ladies used to write. And we can keep going on. It's easy. I'm going to skip it and we'll go ahead. Alright, so now this Madi, Al-Fi'l Al-Madi Istimrari is just like the other Madi. it will also have a ma'roof, like it is, and it will also have a majhul. So we already had the examples of active, and it also has the meaning. Okay, so anybody lost their phone? No? Nobody?
Thank you.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you.
Important. Alright, the tea is here too, mashallah. Okay. Where was I? Okay, so it also has a ma'roof, which is active tense, and majhul, which we learned it is the passive tense. So let's say kana yadribu. Who can tell me the meaning of kana yadribu? He used to hit. Okay, he used to hit. So let's make it majhul now. Kana yudrabu. Kana yudrabu. I don't like using this word daraba. You know, I'm a very non-violent person. Even though I look kind of big and tall, but I'm...
Used to get beaten.
Wherever I go, I smile really big, so people think, oh, okay. Otherwise, they're like, whoa, this guy looks serious. Alright, so, alright, kana yudrabu?
He used to get beaten.
He used to get hit. Okay, good. Kana yadhaku. Yes.
So kana doesn't change, right? In the conjugation of...
Well, if you look at the sheet, it says kana yadribu, kana yadribani, kanu yadribun. So it's changing.
Or if you do passive,
Yeah,
kana still is the same, right?
Yeah.
But the verb-
yeah. Kana. It's not going to change. Only the good question. Very good question. Only the mudari is going to change. It's going to become yudrabu, just like you know, the fatha changes to a dhamma, and the ain kalima changes to the fatha on the ain kalima. I hope that makes sense. If we had, you know, I think the class of majhul is very clear. I've made many examples. So what happens is the fa kalima gets a dhamma on it, and the ain kalima gets a fatha on it. So yashrabu becomes yushrabu, and yadribu becomes yudrabu. So over here, let's take the example of yadhaku. Yadhaku means he is laughing or he's going to laugh. Kana yadhaku, he used to laugh. Alright, it's madi now. He used to laugh. Kana yudhaku, he used to get laughed at. He used to get laughed at. So it becomes passive, okay? Remember the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Man dhahaka dhuhika. Whoever laughs at people will get laughed at. So, man kana yadhaku, he used to laugh at people. Kana yudhaku, he used to get laughed at. Alright, another example, kana yamna'u. Yamna'u means to stop or to deny. Let's say deny, okay? So, kana yamna'u, he used to deny. Kana yumna'u, he used to get denied. Alright? Let's go to the tasniya. Kana yamna'ani, those two men used to deny. Kana yumna'ani, those two men used to get denied. Okay? So, madi, ma'ruf, and majhul. So it's a good question. The kana stays as it is, but the mudari, it changes with the regular way that we learned before. All right. Let's do one more example. Kana yakdhib. Kadhaba yakdhib. Lying. Okay. So kana yakdhibu, he used to lie. Kana yukdhabu, he used to be lied at. Okay. Or let's make it just like the mudari had a ma'roof and a majhul. The mudari also had a positive and a negative. Okay, muthbat and manfi. So let's try muthbat and manfi. Kana, what was it? Kana yakdhibu, he used to lie. Ma kana yakdhibu. So you put a ma in the beginning. Because remember, kana, otherwise the mudari, remember, used to have a la. But when kana is on there, it brings a ma. Because kana itself is madi. Alright? Kana, kana, kanu, kanat, kanata, kunna, kunta, kuntuma, kuntum, kunti, kuntuma, kuntunna, kuntu, kunna. This is madi. Just like daraba, daraba, darabu, darabat, darabata, darabna, ila akhiri. So you put a ma in the beginning. So ma kana yakdhibu. He never used to lie. He never used to lie. So it's a good way of translating it.
ما كان محمد
ما كان محمد أبا أحد. Yes, yes, yes. But Muhammad is a ism, right? It's a noun. So we are actually dealing with af'al right now, verbs. All right, another example. Kana yaghfiru. Ghafara yaghfiru means to forgive. So he used to forgive. He had a nice soft heart like me, you know, he used to forget, overlook, forgive. I also forgive because I don't remember. I have a bad memory. So the person, you know, after a little while I don't remember what happened or anything. So that's a good thing because I don't remember the bad thing. And so not a good thing because sometimes I don't remember, like I'm in salah and I don't remember the next ayah. That's not a good thing too. Anyway, kana yaghfiru, he used to forgive. Ma kana yaghfiru, he had a hard heart. He never used to forgive. All right. Kana yafhamu, he used to understand. Ma kana yafhamu, he never understood. All right. We explained and explained. Calm down, take it easy, but he never understood. All right. Let's go on. Okay, I'm going to say this in Arabic, so those people who know Arabic can also understand. قاعدة تكوين الفعل المضارع بلن لتأكيد. Oh wait. Okay, so are we? Okay, so we're going to actually go ahead. But is there any questions on kana? I mean, Madi Istimrari. Is there any questions on it before we go ahead? In this little time, alhamdulillah, it only took 25 minutes. We explained Al-Madi Istimrari, the Ma'ruf, the active, the Majhul, the passive, the Muthbat, the positive, and the Manfi, the negative. Just like the previous Mudari that we learned. No, not much difference. The meaning we learned, continuous past. Before we move ahead, is there any questions? I didn't write it on the board today because it's on the handout. It's in the handouts and it's nice and clear on there. And the handouts are also online, so anybody can click it and get it. All right, so we're going to move ahead now. We're going to learn a different fi'l al-mudari. All right, so we learned the 6 types of fi'l madi. Now we're going to learn a few types of fi'l al-mudari. Using this is better than that. Softer. The board likes it more. You know, everything soft is better. A soft heart is better than a hard one, right? So even our board, it gets mad if something is hard brushing it. All right, here we go. So, get this out of the way. All right, so we're going to talk about something which is called, okay, so al-fi'l mudari is the present future tense. We're going to talk about today al-fi'l al-mudari bilan li ta'kid al-nafi. All right, let me put some i'rab on this. Al-fi'l al-mudari'u bilan لتأكيد النفي. All right. This al-fi'l al-mudari al-majzoom bilam, inshallah we'll talk about next week. But today we're going to talk about this This is a new tense that we're going to learn. So that's what I was talking about. فيما سبق ذكرنا الفعل المضارع بلا النافية. Before, what we had discussed was فعل المضارع, and when the la and nafiya comes on it, it makes it manfi, it makes it negative, right? So la yaf'alu, he is not doing or he's not going to do. La yadribu, he is not hitting, he's not going to hit. La yadribuna, they're not hitting, they're not going to hit. فإذا أردت أن تكون الفعل المضارع بلن لتأكيد النفي إيتي بلن في بداية الفعل المضارع فيبدل من الضمة فتحة ويسقط النونات سوى جمع المؤنث فإنه ضمير فتقول لن ينصر لن ينصرا لن ينصروا إلى آخره. Alright, so this is called al-fi'l al-mudari bilan. Fi'l mudari with lan. Bilan means with lan. Alright? This ba over here, it means with, and lan is a word. So fi'l mudari with lan لِتَأْكِيدِ النَّفْيِ, for the emphasis in the negative. Nafi means emphasis, and ta'keed means nafi means negative, and ta'keed means emphasis. To emphasize the negation, we bring lan in the beginning of it. Alright? Let me write that on the board. It's going to become more easier to understand. Fi'l mudari with the addition of lan to emphasize the negation. Alright? So, let's say, let's bring the example of yakhluq. Yakhluqu. What does this mean?
Create.
He creates. Alright? He creates. What about La yakhluqu? He does not create. Okay? He doesn't create. Alright? Now, if you bring lan in the beginning of it,
Never create.
and this will change to a fatha. Lan yakhluqa. Lan yakhluqa means he will never create. So it's mustaqbal, okay? It's in the future. Lan yakhluqa, he will never create. So when you bring a lan in the beginning of fi'l mudari', then it brings the, sorry about that, it happens. It brings the negation becomes emphasized. Okay, so let me repeat that. Fi'l mudari with the addition of lan to emphasize the negation. So one was he will not create, and he will never create. So there's more emphasis in it. So when you bring lan in it, you bring emphasis in it. Now I chose the word yakhluq because it actually comes in the Quran, and inshallah we'll mention this. So just yakhluqu means he creates, la yakhluqu means he does not create, he is not going to create, and lan yakhluqa means he will never create. So you brought a lot of emphasis, a lot of intensity, a lot of weight and stress in the negation. In the nullification, you brought a lot of emphasis in it, stress in it. So when you put lan in the beginning of fi'l mudari, this is the meaning that becomes. Now the surah that he was talking about, Surah Al-Hajj, is the 22nd surah of the Quran, and in ayah number 73, Inna alladhina, or if we do have the Quran, let's look at it. Let's look at it in the Quran. So,
20.
Surah number 22. Okay, Surah number 22. Always bring a Quran with you, inshallah, translation Quran, and if the numbers are on there, then it becomes very easy to go. Alright, so Surah number 22 and ayah number 73. Alright. So it's a long ayah. Let's go in the middle of the ayah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَنْ يَخْلُقُوا ذُبَابًا وَلَوِ اجْتَمَعُوا لَهُ. Alright, so with tajweed you can say لَنْ يَخْلُقُوا ذُبَابًا.
What's the ayat number again?
Ayah number 73. Inshallah, I'm going to let everybody catch up. Dhubab means fly.
Fly?
Fly. You know a fly?
Flies?
Yeah, little flies?
Yeah.
Yeah, dhubab. Let me read it again. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَن يَخْلُقُوا ذُبَابًا or لَن يَخْلُقُوا ذُبَابًا وَلَوِ اجْتَمَعُوا لَهُ. Verily, those on whom you call besides Allah cannot ever create a fly. They will never ever be able to create a fly. Alright? Even if they all combine together for the purpose, if they all put their heads together, get all the intellectual people in the world together, put them in one room, put them in one field, they put their heads together and they try to create a fly like Allah created, Allah's challenging. They will never ever be able to do it. So this is a nice example of lan. It's the lan comes on yakhluqu, and it brings the meaning of they will never be able to do it. So emphasized in the negation. So this is called nafi ta'kid bilan. All right, nafi ta'kid bilan. All right, lan is added.
So how about lan tanalu birra?
Yeah, lan tanalu birra. You will never achieve piety. You will never ever be able to achieve piety until you spend from what you love most. Hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun. Perfect. Good. I didn't use that example because tanalul is a word that has a wow in it, so it's pronounced differently. It has a different conjugation. Right now we're doing easy words. So yakhluqu is kind of an easy word.
So the second half of that same ayah, when they have no power to release from the fly,
Yeah.
I don't see none in there.
Okay, let me go back to it. Alright, let's go to it. وَإِن يَسْلُبْهُمُ الذُّبَابُ شَيْئًا لَا يَسْتَنْقِذُوهُ مِنْهُ. Okay, so and if the fly snatches away a thing from them, they will have no power to release it from the fly. Alright, so over here, la is used. Lan is used, they will never ever be able to create a fly. And then la is used here. It's also what do you call it?
Simple negation.
It is simple negation, but always remember, when wow ataf comes, wow ataf means and. So the same emphasis that was on the previous ayah, this wow brings that same emphasis. And we're going to learn this in Arabic, that sometimes a thing doesn't need to be repeated to bring the same emphasis, just as long as you bring the wow lil ataf. So it brings the same meaning of the previous. So you see, in Arabic you always want to use as least letters as possible. So you will bring the same power and stress of the previous ayah without using all the words, just by bringing the wow. And that's the, greatness of Arabic. Alright. So in Madi, we use the word ma to negate, and it brings nafi. And in Mudari, we use the la to negate, it brings nafi. But in mudari, when we use the word lan, it negates, but it has a lot of emphasis and a lot of stress. But there is differences, okay? Just like it brings a difference in the meaning, la brings just a simple negation, but lan brings a difference in the meaning. It has emphasized negation, okay? It brings a lot of stress in negating. The second difference is the meaning will only be for future tense. It will not be for present. So la yaf'alu, he's not eating, he's not doing, he's not going to do. La ya'kulu, he's not eating, he's not going to eat. So it's present, past, present and future. But when lan comes, it's specifically for future. He will never do this. So it comes only for future. So that's one difference. Just like we used to have seen and sofa. Seen came to say recent future. Sofa came for distant future. Remember that lesson? So seen and sofa only come for mustaqbal. They make the mudari khas for mustaqbal, for the future. In the same manner, lan comes on mudari and it makes it simply for mustaqbal, only for the future. I hope that makes sense. Let's give some examples, easy examples. Somebody said, hey, why don't you, let me erase this. Hey, why don't you look at the previous videos and remember the conjugation and the patterns, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. So the guy, what did he say? He said, lan af'al. So what does that mean? Lan af'ala. I will never do it. Memorize it. I will never do it. Alright, let's use another one. Lan. Alright, he said, why don't you eat that? He said, lan na'kul. We will never eat that. Okay? So, lie a little bit. Lan akdhib. I will never lie. Lan akdhiba. Alright? Another example, something that we don't do. Lan. Okay, that's good. But let's put, okay, we got na'kul. We can put khinzir here. But let's say steal, okay? Lan nasriqa. So we learn more and more vocab words. There's going to come in our lessons a time we're going to learn a lot of vocab words. So that's a time we have to memorize also. When are you going to return? So lan tarja. Let's do mudhakkar hadir. Lan tarji'a. You will never return. You, one man, will never return. Alright? So these are all examples of lan. Lan af'al. I will never do it. Lan na'kula. We will never eat it. Lan aktiba. I will never lie. Lan nasrika. We will never steal. Lan tarji'a. You, one man, or that one lady, will never return. Alright. Now we can look at this page, page 35 of our book that we are studying. Alright, in the handouts, it looks like this, page 35. And it has the whole conjugation. So it's going from left to right. So let's look at the first word on the left of the page. The first verb is yaf'alu. It's saying to add a lan to it. So it became lan yaf'ala. All right?
Also, Dhammachi.
Yeah, this is the thing that we wanted you to notice. That, remember I told you, first it changes the meaning, the ma'na. The ma'na becomes, the meaning becomes from just simple negation to emphasized negation. Okay, lan. And it also changes the word itself. So it makes the word bring a fatha at the end. The default state of fi'l mudari is with a dhamma. Yaf'alu. The default state of fi'l mudari is with a dhamma at the end. The state should be with a dhamma at the end. But lan is so strong, my teacher used to say, lan is so strong, it changes the meaning too, and it changes the word also. And how does it change the word? It brings, at the end, it brings differences. The first difference that it makes is it changes the dhamma to a fatha. Alright? I think I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into this now. And I think I can do it in the next 15 minutes. Alright. So, la af'alu becomes la af'ala. I might have to write it on the board. It makes it more easier. That's going to take a while. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so yaf'alu became yaf'ala. So we'll put a lan in the beginning. And then lan yaf'ala. And then lan yaf'alu. Alright, lan taf'ala. Lan taf'ala. And then lan yaf'alna. Alright, lan taf'ala. Remember, these two are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then this is also going to be the same. And then lan taf'alu. And then lan that better. Taf'ali. And then same lan taf'ala. And then lan taf'alna. And then lan af'ala. And then jama lan naf'ala. Alright, the reason I wrote all of that is to show you that lan brings a fatha in 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright? These 5 words are واحد مذكر غائب. واحد مؤنث غائب. واحد مذكر حاضر. واحد متكلم جمع متكلم. These 5 places, lan brings a fatha at the end. And I'll tell you why it brings a fatha in a few minutes. Alright? Then in 7 places, so there's 14 verbs altogether, right? 14. So 5 are gone, how many left? 9. So 9 are left. From those 9, 7 of the places it drops the noon at the end. So it was yaf'alani, taf'alani, 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 taf'alina, and taf'aluna. So in these 7 places, it drops the noon. Okay? So instead of yaf'alani, it becomes lan yaf'ala. Lan taf'ala. So there was a noon here, it dropped. Okay? And then, so we got 5 and 7. That's 12. 2 left. Yaf'alna and taf'alna, they stay exactly the same. When women get together, you can't change them. So, my teacher used to say that. No offense. So, yaf'alna, taf'alna. So, they stay exactly the same. We will learn because this noon is a dhamir itself and it never changes. So, we will learn that later, probably in the next book that we read, inshallah. But right now, we must know when lan comes, it changes the meaning to emphasize negation. And then in the word itself, where it was a dhamma, and I told you dhamma is the default state of fi'l al-mudari, it brings a fatha, 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 fatha in the ending, 5 places, and then in 7 places it drops the noon. So first is here, it was taf'alina, remember? Taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'aluna, taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'alna, af'alu, naf'alu. So this became taf'ali, the noon dropped. First place. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. So 7 places there was a noon, it dropped it. Now I'm going to tell you why it drops it. Even though this why is actually a lesson that we should learn probably later on in our studying Arabic, but inshallah, I'll just explain a little bit of it right now. Okay? All right. The word dhamma, what does it mean? It means to, join your lips together and make the oo sound. Remember I explained fatha, dhamma, kasra? So, the dhamma, you basically put your lips together, oo, so yaf'alu. So, dhamma in Arabic is a heavy letter. Alright? Because you have to actually move your lips and put it together. Heavy haraka, heavy symbol, or heavy movement of the lips, right? Because you have to put it together. Fatha, all you have to do is just open your mouth up, and you make the A sound, right? So it's easier. So when lan comes on a mudari, it has the power to make the mudari lighter. So it makes it lighter. Okay? So instead of af'alu and you are going to put your, the lips together, so af'ala. So it makes it lighter. So lan has that power to change the meaning, and it also has the power to change the word itself and make it lighter. And this is going to be throughout the books of Sarf and Nahu that we read. We're always going to see words and letters and particles that make the word itself lighter. And that's something that Arabic always wants, to make it easier, to make it fluent, to make it lighter. Alright, so when you put a fatha on a word, it becomes lighter. And another way of these words were heavy, where there was there's noons at the end. All right, yaf'al, taf'alina, and then yaf'alani, taf'alani, 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 yaf'aluna, taf'aluna. N at the end. It was making the word heavy. So lan came and it made it lighter by dropping the noon altogether. So the word became light. Lan af'ala, or lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'alu, lan taf'ala, lan taf'ala, lan yaf'alna, lan taf'ala, lan taf'alu, lan taf'al. لن تفعلا لن تفعلا لن تفعلوا لن تفعلي لن تفعلا لن تفعلنا لن أفعل لن نفعل. Hey, I memorized it. Now you guys can memorize it. Alright. This was something I memorized about 1992. And this is the second, after that, now I'm saying it. So, you can see we memorized it. Oh, well, I taught this class in 2000 and 2001, so I guess I said it in that time too. Alright. So the word lan, when it comes on the mudare, it changes the meaning to negative emphasized. Also, it's only for the future and not for the present. And then it also changes the word itself by making it lighter. It makes it easier to say, smoother to say, by changing the dhamma to a fatha in 5 places, and then by dropping the noon in 7 places. And the 2 places, they stay the same, because they are, we're gonna find out later on, these two, yaf'alna and taf'alna, the jama mu'annath, ghaib and hadir, are mabni. Mabni means they're stateless. They don't change, unchangeable. Alright, we will learn in Nahu actually why it is like that. Now we can turn back to this, and now it should make more sense. If we look at this sheet now, lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'alu. So you will see exactly what I wrote on the board. When you add the lan to it, then this is how it changes it. Is there anyone that is confused and needs me to make it more clear? Everybody got it, huh? Wow. Amazing.
Do you always have to have alif after the waw with the sukun on it?
Alif after the waw. Okay, so this is a good question. You're talking about this alif right here?
No. In those men.
Yeah, those men. So this is those men.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah.
So this is the alif.
Yeah.
And this is all you men, this is the alif. So I remember explaining this a long time ago, so let's refresh the memory. Whenever the waw is from the root letters, alright? Like for example, da'watun. Da'watun means to call. Okay? Da'wa. So dal, ain, and a waw. The waw is part of the 3 root letters. But sometimes the waw is not from the root letters. It comes there to show that this word is jama'. It's a plural. In this case, the root letters are fa, ain, and lam. This waw is there to make this word jama', to make it plural. So whenever the waw is not one of the root letters and it's used to show that it's jama', this alif will come to tell you that this waw is for jama'. Throughout all the words in Arabic, you will always see this. You will always see an alif after it, and it's only telling you this waw is not one of the root letters.
The same like a Quran? Quran's also same root?
Everywhere in the Quran. This is actually a word in the Quran. Lan taf'alu. Where is it? Alright, so this can be our homework. Find out where this word is.
Lan taf'alu. Which is it?
Lan taf'alu. This exact word is in the Quran. Okay. So if we go to page 36 now, just like fi'l mudari has a ma'roof, which means active tense. Fi'l mudari has a majhul, it has a passive tense. In the same manner, nafi ta'kid bilan also has a ma'roof, lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'ala, lan yaf'alu. And then it also has a majhul, passive, lan yuf'ala. Alright? So, he will never be done. It's a hard, it's not a word that's used. Let's use the word nasara. Lan yansura, he will never help. Lan yunsara, he will never be helped. Lan yansura, those two men will never help. Lan yunsara, those two men will never be helped. So just like mudari had a ma'ruf and a majhul, active and a passive, so does nafi ta'kid bilan. Alright? So if you want to see how it's done, the majhul, you have the worksheet and it's in front of you, you can look into that. The last piece of paper that I printed out for you guys is this one. So this is homework. Yes, we do homework. Yes.
Now this page you are talking about, run, yaf'ala. That's he will never do. Do is just like a present. But done, he will never be done.
Yeah, it will never be done in the future.
Yes.
He will never do in the future, he will never do it in the future, and he will never be done in the
Done
future.
and do.
It's both are mustaqbal. They're both future.
Because of
The world will change, but this will not become anything but future.
because of the
It's
will.
future. Yeah, it'll always be future. All right. Just like if you bring a scene in the beginning of sayaf'alu, he will do. It will always be future because it's a scene. Lan is one of those letters that is very, very strong. Is that I'm only going to do future and that's it. That's how my teacher used to explain it. He's strong. He changes the meaning. He changes the word around. So, okay. So inshallah we can practice it. It'll become easier. Write down the lan yansura, lan yansura, lan yansuru, lan tansura, lan tansura, lan yansurna, lan tansura, lan tansura, lan tansuru, lan tansuri, lan tansura, lan tansurna, lan ansura, lan nansura. There, I did one line for you already. Now you guys can do the rest. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
On the middle one for lan yadkhula, why is it he entered and not he will never enter?
Let's see. It's on the one of the sheets?
Yeah. The homework.
Oh,
Run, yadkhul.
oh, he entered. Okay, so I guess it's a misprint. So he will never enter. He will never enter. Yeah, it's a misprint. I didn't see that. It's from some other book. I went online and I'm gathering all these worksheets from different books, and we're giving it to you like a cake, just like that cake over there. We're giving it to you that easily. I was telling one of the brothers that it's so easy. People go to overseas and the weather and the people there and the food and go through all that 8-9 years. And over here it's very easy. We even have tea and cake and come on and learn. And it's on YouTube, handouts and recording. It's a cake right now. All we need to do is eat it and make dua to Allah, because at the end of the day, it's the knowledge, the nur of knowledge is from Allah, inshallah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you already rubbed it, but I wrote it here. This fi'l madiri.
Mudari.
Mudari, the
Mudari.
present future. Okay, you wrote al-fi'l mudari. What was this? Balna.
Bilan. B is a ta'keed.
Ta'keed
Ta'keed al-nafi.
al-naf.
Al-nafi. Alright, so nafi means
Al-Nafi and the Al-Mudroom. Al-Maj.
oh, al-majzoom. Okay, okay. So majzoom we're going to learn next week, inshallah. So that we're not going to learn right now. But the first one, al-fi'l mudari bi lan. Fi'l mudari with the addition of lan. This is what you're going to translate it. With the addition of lan, لِتَأْكِيدِ النَّفِي, for the emphasis on the negation. So the negative, that he will never do it, this is why lan comes on it. Inshallah. Inshallah, next week we'll review it again, inshallah. But next week we're going to go on to lam. And lam is a different word that enters upon fi'l mudari and also changes the meaning and also changes the word. And it's a strong word itself. So inshallah we'll mention that. It actually makes it into madi. Lam. Lam makes it into madi. The meaning. So we will learn that inshallah next week, Allah willing, and we had a little break for last Monday. It was a late cancel. Allah forgive me and all of you forgive me for that, but I got busy.
But last week, before the Monday you were in C. Yes, well, yeah, it was in C. You told us we can add C in front of the.
Yep.